When you're dealing with a group of people who I think prehistorically have determined that there's a certain category of people, also known as black people, who do not actually possess rights to humanity, I think you already know what the outcome's going to be related to anything that they have not done or put forward an initiative to try and undergo the process of alleviating some of those tensions. And sadly, the thing is, you can still sense those tensions very well aware, particularly within the healthcare teams, where perhaps the model of in which they run their field in is concerningly built on the basis of white philosophy. The textbooks that and the education that you need in order to receive a qualification and a license for those medical roles are all established based off of philosophies where black people actually did not have rights to humanity. And the reality of the situation is none of that has changed, being the philosophy in which they used to indoctrinate black people into these specific providers, given that their textbooks, their qualifications, and history has proven to disqualify black people from ethical human treatments. If you look at the charter in which the North American Constitution was established on, there was a legislation which established black people as 3/5 of a human being. That means black people did not even make up the whole black millions of black people could not even account for a single human being. And this is the establishment in which the healthcare teams have made their premises for support on without providing any change, any altercation, and have sadly been able to perhaps manipulate the experience of many black people who perhaps come into these situations and are seeking support, and instead of seeking support, they receive worse housing conditions, worse health conditions, worse treatments, and they are taught everything that is bad about themselves simply due to the fact that that is the system in which they have been indoctrinated to be convinced is the premise of their healthcare. The problem I have with this is you can't actually take a specific biological group of people who you have done no specific research on. You have never researched the black people. You are unaware of the conditions facing the black people, beyond the stereotypes which have been indoctrinated in the media, such as black people are being told, or the media is being told, that black people are more likely to rob, to steal, to commit acts of violence, where actually the data has proven that the white situation related to the black people has actually been more oppressive than any group of people alive on Earth as we speak. And due to the fact that we are in a system that perhaps neglects this type of information, you frequently find yourself being misunderstood, mislabeled, misinterpreted, and treated in a way that is not correct. You cannot take a group of people, as I was iterating, you cannot take a group of people who you have done no research on, who you have no collected knowledge on, and try and treat them the same way that you treat your regular citizens, in which you know the cultural or the climate conditions, you know the conditions related to economies, societies, so on. The lack of understanding related to the situation is one in which you can definitely raise a concern. And sadly, when you're in such a situation like that, your only real resort of action is to separate from a minimalistic ideal that perhaps you are being limited, or perhaps that you are being taken away or deprived of a freedom and necessary treatment.